This is Danica Joan, and this is our December 26, 2018 edition of Custody Matters Live. I have Richard here in the group, and we also have Dr. Mark Roseman joining any minute now. So welcome, Richard. I'm so glad that you joined us. This is basically this will be sort of an open forum this time. It's the day after Christmas. I know that there's just a lot of stress and frustration and all kinds of disempowerment revolving around dealing with the holidays and stuff like that. And it's almost agonizing. And I know for some parents that today is the day that they actually look forward to. It's like, okay, it's all it's over now. Now I can actually start getting my life a little bit back to normal. How was your holiday? Say again?
It was nice. I'm there for celebrate Hanukkah, which happened a couple weeks ago. But yesterday was nice. I had friends.
Did you get to see your kids?
No, I did not. I have filed a sleeping order yesterday, along with the deal, and so I did not get to see them.
Okay. Well, I do apologize. I know how it feels to miss out on monumental times in our children's lives. I hope that. So, was this restraining order? Was this to protect her, or did it also include children?
It does not include her. It's actually only for the children.
Ah.
And it was made up the whole series of lies. I've been going back and forth to court since July, and we're pretty soon going to have to trial. It's just nothing resolved. And as of the date, we haven't really been able to present anything in regards to the actual allegations from the borough or about the judge trying to have the time with children. But for some reason, it just seems like, the kids have been alienated. They have never seen me. They were appointed an attorney, and then the represents them to the court. And trying to get forensics a link hearing in New York to us, so I could get a little bit beyond that.
Got it. Can you give me a little bit of, by the way, I just wanted to let you know that Dr. Mark Roseman is on the line and in the conversation. Richard, can you tell us a little bit, give us a little history on what was the situation in your family and what brought you into this conversation? What do you think you might be able to, we could help you with?
Sure. I've been divorced for 4 years now. We live separately, live in New York City. I was in primary custody where I would do every other weekend and then 1 night a week. Cutter. Mm-hmm. And then, I would have them, but they always preferred staying with my ex, and they brought up to my apartment. They're in a really, there's a big differential in terms of wealth. My ex's family has a lot of money, she has money, so we were in a 3,000 square foot long building in George, whereas now it's full wrapped up in East Harlem. So, they obviously enjoyed being where they were. My younger son has Asperger's, so it's very special thing. He's been addicted to electronics, and I was always more of the disciplinarian, whereas would threaten something and then nothing would happen. So there were a few times where I would say, hey, he's addicted to electronics. I would have to stop the meals, or you have to stop at other points. So one time I took away the electronics, finally at 10 o'clock at night, and the turn at the time, and him trying to get into a set, goes trying to get into my closet. I pull him away. He then tells my ex, who then he gets this restraining order. They pulled him away and hit him. Never did. There was never any proof of anything. You know, if someone would hit my child, I would have brought the police right away. I would take a picture of the remarks. It was nothing like that. She just like made this up and now consistently buying different things to get allegiance.
Can I?
I've been
Sure. Oh, thank you. Pardon me, Danica. How old are the children now?
The child is 14, the younger one is 11.
The eldest is your son?
He's a transgender boy, so yes, they're both.
Okay, and the one that has Asperger's that you mentioned was how old?
He's now 11.
He's 11, okay. Have you spoken to this therapist?
I've spoken with both of their therapists.
Okay.
I get different reports from his therapist that for a while, he was happy that I was in his life and happy that I was doing things with him. Lately, I haven't really gotten a good responses from his therapist. The court did award me family therapy. Originally, they had to do that. So now I'm trying to find a family therapist. They've been happy with this. But I've been only just awarded this. Yeah.
You may want to get a referral, you may want to contact Linda Godfrey. Do you know who that is?
No.
She's an incredible, extremely therapist who is very successful with PAS estrangement and unification, and I can share her contact information with Danica, and then if you'd like.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead? Why don't you go ahead and share that with me? If you have it available right now, I can put it in the conversation thread.
Okay. Let me see if I might have it ready. I'm not going to have it immediately.
That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and look up. I think she actually have her on as a friend on Facebook. I'm
Too.
gonna
But she's also a member of the Parental Alienation PASG, the PAS Studies Group.
Okay.
And I'll get that for you after the call, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Because I know I'll be able to find it right now. I don't want to take away from the conversation.
Okay. That would be great.
What I'm going to do. And you, I think in your marriage settlement agreement or divorce decree, Richard, you have noted that you're entitled to physician's reports and school records. Okay.
I think we'll get all of that.
The therapist again. You need this immediately. And you also like a consultation with them. But you may have to reference the marriage settlement agreement or the divorce decree that you are entitled to. You are expecting it. This is what you need right now.
Yeah, he's normally fairly responsive, and I have for an email and tested with him, but I think he might be away. But I will
just
yeah, it's only the past week and a half or so that he hasn't been responsive.
All right. So that makes sense. Sure. When did you last see your children?
Halloween, October 31st.
All right.
So the court originally provided me with supervised visitation, and they took everything away.
Right.
the kids don't want to see him. And the judge actually agreed with them. We had asked for family therapy at that point, right? And we had asked for a forensic psychiatrist, and even a Lincoln hearing in New York, and we were denied on all of those. But I was just for last week, and they did approve the family therapy. So we were going to Friday. So
was it a different judge or the same judge?
It's the same judge. Again, it's both family court, and at this point, I haven't even been able to talk about why the TRO was replaced, which was on I haven't been able to defend myself with that, but the judge typically has been wanting me to get time with the kids. And the judge got mad at me by one time I was recording my children because I actually with my phone because I actually called one of my son, the younger one, who had claimed something which my wife used, my wife, and then he admitted to me he didn't really have it, right? But then the judge got mad at me because she said that it was threatening to my son that I'm recording conversations. And then our previous day, the judge got mad at me because my son, during one of our visitations, went up to me, took my hat, threw it across the room, so I went over to where I made a stand and tried to walk with me and pick up saying it was unacceptable. And I said to him, this is what got her mad, the judge mad. I said, I would have done that as a child, my father would have spanked me. And I didn't spank him, I hit him. The judge said, I was threatening too, you're putting fear in your. I'm like, it's illegal in New York to spank a kid. I didn't even do it, I just said that's what would have happened to me. And so the judge really seems like every time I do something, I get it wrong. The last court meeting, the judge was mad because the judge ordered me to go to a parenting class for kids with special needs. There actually are not for kids unless they're babies. I found a group with special needs at the JCC on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And so my younger son got mad that I was taking a class. So I told him, okay, well, I won't go. But I just was trying to escalate it. And then I eventually told him I was going. Well, the class, again, the judge got mad. Oh, you were lying to your child. I'm like, this judge can't be a parent because doesn't really understand how people parent. So I was just really de-escalating. I told him afterwards that I did go, and we had a conversation about it. But everything I seem to do is wrong for this judge.
Well, all right. So right now you're on a positive trajectory. They approved family therapy. This is good. There are different ways to skin a cat when disciplining children and making a point. We have different approaches with each child because each differently. They hear differently, learn differently. But what you've illustrated is a response, on both parts. And what you may know, and you're not seeing your children since Halloween, which is just bloody awful. But the therapist that you teach will be helpful facilitating conversation, asking them, they feel and why, and how they would prefer, and how you feel and why you prefer, and having that dialogue in a session, which is a managed session, in a series, is going to help these kids who are really conflicted, but being 14 and 11, and it's been a very short period of time. It's just been a couple of months. That's not devastating and insurmountable. However, I think I'm so glad family therapy option. I won't be able to. I think that's really, as long as it's going to go further in getting to agree on that you might suggest. So invite to suggest therapists, and suggest therapists, and then.
Well, I actually get a therapist. It's really for me. I do have to inform each therapist who this person is, but they don't get it. Because they don't like it, they should go to therapist. So,
okay.
It doesn't have a choice in the therapist.
Okay.
Which I guess is like, now I do have the ability to speak with the phone and text to each kid daily. My older one never answers the phone in terms of text. Younger one, for a period, 2 weeks from Thanksgiving, about a little over a week ago, was actually speaking to me a bit, and now he's stopped again because I had Apple AirPods, so he's
kids, and they're manipulating. It doesn't exist what manipulating. They want. This is it's kind of any. You may want to do is I had well, I would expect that you know what each child likes. If you got one, child that really likes electronics, well, what about electronics does he like? What games does he follow or online? Is it that you're really compelling for him? What is it about the other child that you enjoy? Whether it's reading, whether it's activities, school activities, or make a list of those things that they like, and stick with some certain questions that they like. But you've got some kids that are ignoring you. If they want to jokes, send a joke. How many pictures? If it's a game that you found online, there's a game that's new to you, and you want them to check it out, you can forward it to them and say, hey, did you ever see this? What do you think? Is that something I like? Try to identify with them. Acknowledge what their interests are, is what I'm saying. Kids don't always want to be in a diet. They don't want parents deciding that they're going to supporting. Through that, pressure, that's how did you try to connect on what interests them? And that's another tactic. And of course, you can discuss that. Let's say with the therapist that you work, but try to be as less critical. Find something that is, is absent any. Criticism.
Yeah, real quick. Okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, in dealing with the kids, you have to go on their own turf. That would mean that, in some school districts, you're allowed to go and maybe their age category, you usually go have opportunities to go have lunch with them, participate in their activities, at the PTA meetings.
I can't do it.
Okay. So
I
you
can't even go to school back to school when the kids were.
You holding water against your children? Against you?
Against my children.
Okay.
That's what
Are you okay, so Richard, but you did say that you did have communication with them, that you were able to text them, is that right?
Yeah. Text them, whenever I want them, only between 8 or 8
Well, the idea is to that, like, make an unnegotiable appointment you have to make, whether you're able to do a voice text, actually hear your voice, any way, and it connected with them, especially like a video text, would really make a difference. Keep them, keep their conscience. They're not completely turned off. It's just sort of tucked away, for the time being. And when you get them, it's important that if they're being alienated from you, that the changes. You're no longer able to be the role of a parent who does the normal, healthy, disciplinary kind of stuff, because they're looking for opportunities to call you an abuser, to reject you. And it's sad that your child needed to be reprimanded, and yet now it was turned against you. Unfortunately, for time, you're going to have to dismiss those bad behaviors and just ignore them.
No, it's tough. I don't want to say under this, unless and they understand that I can't do anything. When I was supervised visit, they would just make me out like the entire time. It's really fun. When I thought of it, for one supervised visit, I'm the supervisor, and leave early because he was so frustrated because I explode on my kids. So I'm like, I don't believe.
So something to consider, instead of saying, of making their behaviors wrong, it's not like they're right, but instead of making them wrong and saying, wow, when I was a kid, this is what's been done to me, turn it around, and ultimately it's the impact on you. When you do these behaviors, the way it has me feel is disrespected, and it really has me feel like that you don't care about me. And so they're really clear that their actions hurt someone.
Yes.
Obviously, my brother would speak to you because he was national, but you leave him. I do write up letters. Send them to you, and then obviously I kept them as well. But the other one was full of how disrespectful and that type of you do. It hurts that he's in just for that. I don't believe it. It's like, he just says really nasty things to me, and I try my class and just, you think that's the thing to say, you think it's disrespectful, curses at me. So I actually emailed my ex-wife last night and said, I've been listening to conversations, just watching properly. I'm like, speak to the world. Do you think it's appropriate for a 11-year-old to be using these curse words at anyone? And she's like, no, I don't think so. I have to say that, but I will talk. So I think she got, I don't believe her. Hopefully,
Well, again, it's like you're trying to get someone to feel their behaviors, by making them wrong, and I'm not. And ultimately, they need to get that their actions have an impact of pain and hurt on your end. So it's sort of a subtle nuance of communication, but one is judging and making wrong, and anytime someone is being judged and wrong, their back there goes up and they don't care. But if they know that their actions had hurt attached to it on another person, then they might see it a little.
I will definitely continue that'll work.
And you may not even know that you may not even know that, because they're storing all this stuff up in their heart, because you had a healthy relationship at one time, and right now it's just being toxic.
Before this was filed, we had a new relationship. And all of a sudden, about a week after I filed it, all of a sudden it was like the switch was flipped. You know, he became nasty, he became not listening, not wanting to speak with me. Then he started, well, now you're an abuser, you're fired, this, like nothing that he had ever said before, and obviously nothing that I was true. But he sort of gone with the mentality of what my was expecting. So it's really been, you know,
Yeah. Well, you know, one of the things, I guess, in surviving this, because you're pretty much in survival mode, you're just trying to survive salvage a relationship until change. I know something that happened that worked in my own personal experience is when you are able to have visitation with him, that you take them to places that the bad behavior is not so noticeable. So, for instance, or into an environment like a public library or maybe they don't want to be embarrassed in a situation that they don't act out and be seen as their behaviors be seen by other people. It's a real practical kind of situation where you have to play the environment. You would never there's certain places you just stop taking them to. That
right. Yeah, during my time, actually, there were Wednesday nights I would take them for dinner, and we would go to the library. And they were unfortunately the library not wanting to sit, talk to me, act out.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is sometimes the public library, it's a row of computers, and if they spend their visitation time on different computers, not necessarily interacting with you, you're actually creating a positive event to happen, and you feel like, well, gosh, they're not sitting at the table talking to me, but their experience that of, well, it wasn't that bad. And you might be able to divide and conquer as well. Trust me, I did that in the library with all the computers. And didn't want to interact with me, fine, get on the computers and I'll sit beside you and interact with you and what you're engaged in.
Particularly when they do their homework and they use the computer and then on their play game. So, but yeah, I make it extremely frustrating because allows the supervisor, if I had they would answer. But it was tough.
But I think if you take Danica's point about getting your, having parenting time supervised with the kids in places that are benign, that are enjoyable by each of the children, something that they will enjoy doing. It might be stick with the therapist that they suggest, they may bring up the conversation they should. So, it's really important that you have time with your, with each other, and she'll give some reasons for it, and then it's like, what are some things that if you were to do with your dad, what are some things that you would really enjoy doing that you may like to show him that you're capable of doing, that you have fun with or would like to try. And because coming out of that four-room setting and having an opportunity to engage each other in an activity that they choose, that they will enjoy, will take their mind off of the interaction with you and focus on the activity, which then would give them the acknowledgement, because they're there with you, that in fact they had a good time with you. Why? Because it was about them. It was not about any lessons to be learned or any history to be corrected or any future to be planned. It's about the here and now. And I think that Danica's suggestion is something that, again, you should bring up with the therapist when you get together. It's like, let's create some normal activities that will really be engaging and just take the stress away from the kids. Just allow them to be, and let's be together. That's a good idea.
Oh yeah. Well, I also know that I'm going to be under such scrutiny, even if when things do get resolved, that it's definitely going to take a while for
It's
definitely. Like I was once, my problem is my younger son just wants to stay in the apartment and play Fortnite or whatever video game he's playing. I mean, we used to play games together. We would be playing Fortnite together or Minecraft before that, and we could both be in the same game. Now, he won't even do that. I tried to bond with him by doing things that he liked. And then the older one just does probably what he wants to do, and he just sits, and he's now just really just interested in his friends, so he'll be on his phone with them, doing whatever he's doing.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just wanted to point out, in these places that you have visitation, try to find opportunities to brag about your children to the person who's around. Let your children hear you bragging about them.
Yeah, that's a great idea. By reaffirming for the child what all of us need, like a pat on the back, a sense of self-worth. These kids are going through they're going through adolescence. This is one of the worst times of their life, the most fragile times of their life. And I think, and you know what? It doesn't cost anything to smile, right? All the time, smile. And when you're with this, the monitor, whoever's monitoring your time together, like Danica said, it's like, why? Is it one of your kids' names?
Sawyer and Marlo.
Sawyer and Marlo?
Yep.
So you say, isn't Sawyer fantastic? Marlo, what a mind, what an imagination. Aren't they cool? Aren't I lucky? And be genuine. Be genuine. Because you love these kids. You're sacrificing time and money and sweat and tears over these kids. They mean everything to you. Let them know how much they mean to you by honoring them, right? Like what Danica said, brag about them, comment on who they are and their abilities. Look at their strengths. Look at their strengths. We know what the weaknesses are. We all have those weaknesses. Being defensive, being questioned about loyalty, being isolated, being victimized. Your kids are being victimized if they're not being allowed freedom to express their feelings for you. So do everything you can, and love and honor and affirmation is a great wedge against further isolation and estrangement and success of alienating behaviors. I think that's really very important. And try yourself before you have visitations, before you go into the therapy with with your children, try to chill out, rest, right? Eat well, feel grounded, breathe, and no, this is all for the higher power, and it's only for now. This is not for the future. It is now. That all these changes that you're experiencing and these procedures, which are so weighty, you know what? Study Tai Chi. Learn how, I should do that myself. Learn, right, how to deal with stress and to push it aside.
Yeah.
And to be able to move forward. And this is a learning experience, and you can't expect to learn everything about self-care and process because you're in it. And it comes upon us, without planning. But you've made great progress, and you should be very proud of yourself. Really.
Yeah, I mean, luckily I have a pretty good support group. Obviously, there's a few different
Good.
Facebook groups for parental alienation who I'm part of and know some people with. And but you also, one of the things I've learned is really learn who your friends are and even your family who will really care. It's the bad times when they will listen to your complaints and talk to you as opposed to not hearing from them.
And I would also find other support groups where you have people that are not affected by alienation. It's just a divorce support group. Most people don't experience the crap that we do when we are subject to highly conflicted divorce and alienating patterns. Okay, that's about a third of parents. It's not the majority. It's significant, but it's not the majority. But if you get involved in a divorce support group, hey, be open to meeting somebody that you might really enjoy. Not only from learning from, but to sharing with. Having a good time, developing a relationship. You never know. If you get involved with groups that do nothing but lambast and criticize and complain, these are downers. These are really not effective support systems.
No, I have, it's not my only outlet. I have plenty of things that I do. I definitely am in a running group. I go out with them once a week. I do things I don't, but I don't reciprocate on this because it would just kill me. When it first happened, it was like that, but now it's like can't just focus on this. You have to move on with life, work, with everything else that's going on.
I got to tell you something. When I went through my divorce 20 years ago, I attended a stand-up writing course, and I did stand-up comedy for 3 years. During a very difficult, sounds like New York. During a very difficult
It is New York.
Yeah, well, I lived in New York City, and my first gig was in New York, quite honestly. On the Upper West Side. In fact, I lived on the Upper West Side. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you. Find something that you enjoy doing. You enjoy running, that's great. You have time for other activities, educational activities, even professional activities. Don't ignore yourself. You need to be you as well. And we have many different roles in life, and a parent is one of them. Significant, but one. And,
very good point, Mark. That's the thing is so now I'm post raising my children. All my children are in their 20s, and even in the best of circumstances, parents discover if they've not cultivated and done self-care for them, aside from being somebody's mom or somebody's dad, then there is definitely this huge sense of grief and loss just in the best of circumstances when the children are like, I'm grown now. You did your job, and I'll catch you on the other side. And unfortunately, people in contentious divorce custody situations, it gets cut way too short, too soon. But ultimately, we have to do the same thing as far as self-care, creating a whole who we are as an individual, and having certain parts of that part of ourselves thrive. Even when there's a discouraging, disempowering part called contentious custody situation. So you're definitely on the right track, Richard, in developing other interests and things that make life worth living.
I agree. I mean, the one thing I found that's hard is, so I also date, so I think it's important to keep your social life active. But that's always like the weird thing. It's like when that question comes up. So tell me about your kids. And I would feel like are you going to run if I tell you my ex-wife has a restraining order against me?
Yeah.
But
Listen,
that's always interesting.
Yeah. That's gonna haunt you for a while. But so work on the answers, and you don't have to. You say, I really appreciate you asking. It is tough. Let me tell you, it's tough. But I love my kids, and we're working on relationship supports. And thank you so much for asking.
Yeah. Good idea. I know that is the most discouraging question. It's like, oh, you had to ask that question because when you do a good job of compartmentalizing your life and find empowering parts of your life, and then somebody says, how are your kids? And it's like a gut punch. It's very painful. And I would say, like Mark said, practice your answers, knowing people are going to ask. And if you are not caught flat-footed, and you can come from an empowering context instead of something disempowering where you're defending your situation.
Yeah, well, I've actually done a decent job. So I would say we're on the offensive a bit, but yeah, obviously we have a lot of friends that are in common. I'm friends with a lot of the dads, and just friends with some of the wives. So, I started reaching out to them, talking to them, and letting them know what's going on. But I would say, hey, can you believe she did this? Because they all know me, and they know, everyone who knows me knows, what she's claimed, I would never do. Especially the assault. To claim I assaulted my children, anyone who's ever met me knows I wouldn't even, assault a bug on the ground. And I'm like, can you believe she said that? And they're all shocked. So I figured I was going to try to get her on the defensive a little bit in a different respect. But it's just, the whole thing is being prepared and trying to be, trying to be strong and not let it, because sometimes, it's hard during the holidays. I wish, see every commercial with the parents and the kids. It's really sad, and every channel is holiday stories, and it's just definitely tough.
Yeah, that's the truth. It is. It's a season of extreme highs and extreme lows, and not just with children, but with lost loved ones, and just, oh my gosh, it's just being human, I guess. That and that's why we're here. Dr. Mark and I have joined forces in having these conversations and committing to it, and both of us have been committed in our own organizations to be a light in a very dark time in people's lives, with their families and everything. So I'm so glad, Richard, that you joined the conversation, and you gave us something to talk about, because I guarantee, Richard, you're not the only one, and there's going to be someone who's going to be listening to this recording who really needed what you were able to contribute to the conversation. So
great. And so just to clarify, where is the recording housed? And you don't use my name anywhere on there, or obviously first name is fine, but
yeah, it's just your first name. I have on the Zoom platform, I have it on there as Richard, and we're really on Custody Matters is a closed support group that on Facebook, and that's where the recording is being played and will be housed, and I usually share this recording with Dr. Mark's group, which is the Toby Center Facebook group. All right.
And I forwarded contact information to Danica in her email. During I found it, I was really compelled to get it for you. So you'll see in your email, and you can share that with Richard.
Yes. I will do that. Hey, Richard, are you part of the Custody Matters group?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's something I don't know the name of the group, so I'll make sure to get on there.
All right. Hold on. If you look up Custody Matters on Facebook, it's a group, and it's Facebook groups, facebook.com/group/Custody Matters, and that's our group. Yeah. Okay. And if you are, I'll make sure that you're part of the group, and I'll also publish that link of the contact information for Linda. Linda Gottfried, is that her name?
Gottlieb.
Oh, Gottlieb. Oh, yes. I know Linda Gottlieb. Okay, got it. Yeah. All right. I'll post that.
Okay, great. Well, I really appreciate that. I get to like have my own private session. Give this to you.
It's our pleasure.
Well, let's see ours.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm right next to the original Patsy Pizza, if you like that.
The original what?
Patsy Pizza? If we're going to Patsy's?
No. I don't know. I lived on, you're like, in the 120s, 130s?
I'm on 118 and like first.
On 118?
Yeah, it's on. Yeah.
Oh, and first. Oh, you're East Harlem. Gotcha. Okay.
East Harlem.
Gotcha. Okay, I was Upper West.
Yeah, I lived on the Upper East, and before that, I was married and lived in the village for like 20 years.
Wow.
So,
I love the East Village, especially.
Yeah, I was on 13 and 76, so it's quite a lot from the East where.
Yeah. Very active place this time of year. Every Sunday, every weekend, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the whole city. So, yeah, which I love. So, and where are you now?
In Florida.
Oh,
I lived in New York, gosh, hate to tell you, but 35 years ago.
Yeah, my parents are down in Boynton, my brother's in Wellington.
Oh, okay. Well, you should come down this winter when you can.
Oh, yeah, I'll be down there.
Really?
Yeah, I'll be down for 2 days.
All right, give me a shot and take me out for coffee.
Yeah, that's the trip. My next trip, I will definitely have more time. It's a great work trip. I would love to. So. All right, thank you.
okay. All right. So before we go, I want to let everyone know that Dr. Mark is going to have his Facebook Live on the Toby Center page this Sunday at what, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time? Okay, got it. So, and it's going to be the same.
Join me in this every Sunday. Check this out. I have coffee at Barnes & Noble. I think this off the show.
You're so funny. I saw you, like, you had a picture of Barnes & Noble display, and I'm like, and I'm like, you created that display, didn't you? You went and put you like took everybody's stuff off the shelf and you put all your books over there.
That's what it looks like. But I put 3 or 4 Barnes & Nobles.
Yeah.
You know, the face out. If you go to Barnes & Nobles, they're face out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm so blessed. Oh.
That's super awesome.
Yeah, it is.
All right, I found Linda's proper spelling for her. She's a marriage and family therapist, and family therapist. And I don't know if I can put her link on Facebook, but that's her name. I do have her on there. Anyways, oh, there we go.
So you have my contact. You can send it to me as well.
Okay. I do not have it. If you didn't go, since you went through Zoom and you didn't go, I'm trying to figure out how did you find out about our program?
The website, the Alienation Awareness site.
Okay. I'm going to put it on the Custody Matters website.
Okay.
And just join the group, and then you'll see the archive of our conversation and the thread and stuff like that. So there we go. All right, and if you have any questions, just reach out to me, private message me, and let me know that you didn't get that information, and I'll get it right out to you, okay? All righty, thanks. Thank you, Richard, for joining us. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, we're off the air.